Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Mahesh Chan. Just a second. I'm going to turn my lights on, see if they work. They work. They work. Yes. Welcome to the Copilot Show from Philadelphia. My name is Mahesh Chan, your host. Today, you can see I'm all jazzed up. See, this is like today is a big day. I mean, tomorrow is a big day. This week is a big week for Eagles, Philadelphia fans. I don't know if you know Eagles. Eagles is a football team. Philadelphia Eagles is a football team, and this is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, game tomorrow. If you're not familiar with football, American football is like cricket in India. Football is like soccer, football in Europe. So it's a big deal. So this is my Eagles team, right? You see my head. You see my shirts here, Eagles. It's a bird. So, all right. I can take off the head first now. So welcome to the Copilot show. If you are joining me first time, welcome to the show. If you are joining back, welcome back to the show. In this, our goal is a little bit talk more about Copilot, GitHub Copilot. And if you are not familiar with Copilot, I have a previously recorded show. I also have a book. Let me share my screen for a second. Yeah, let me share my screen, make it big. This show is every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And goal is really to talk about a little bit, 15, 20 minutes about different features of Copilot. Today, we are going to talk about how to write your boilerplate code in Copilot. Means if you are starting anything from scratch, new project from scratch, how can you use Copilot to do that? And then we will also talk about in the end, we will talk a little bit about, I will preview the new CSharp.com. If you have not seen this, check it out. The website CSharp.com, which is going to be the new version of CSharpCorner. The new URL is CSharp.com. Everything is redesigned, rebranded, modern, and there's a lot more coming up on CSharp.com. And hopefully, I think in a week or two, we are also going to start a new show and time and date TBD. And this will be all about CSharpCorner Town Hall, where we are going to talk about different features, product features we are launching and building. And I want to get you guys feedback and input and talk to me about it. So yeah, let's get started. What I will do is I will share my screen here. Let me share my screen. Oh. Go ahead, Deepak. You want to share the screen? Let me launch my Visual Studio. So for this, what we are going to do is, we will use a Visual Studio. I have VS 2022. If you have previous versions or newer versions or even VS Code, wherever you have Copilot, you can pretty much use it. Copilot is available in several popular IDEs. So what I'm going to create is a new project. It's actually, if you see here, it's a new console project. I deleted all the default code written by the Visual Studio. And if you have GitHub Copilot activated, you can see that GitHub Copilot icon is here. It's in green. That means I have a license. You will need a license to use GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio. If you don't, you will see this is not green. You have to click here. When you click here, you have to log into your GitHub account, and that's where you will subscribe to the GitHub Copilot, and that's where it will get all the credentials for you. As you can see, the manage Copilot subscription, you can manage here, or you can just click on here. It will take you to the GitHub login. Since I'm already subscribed and I already have this here logged in, all I have to do is open chat window. So you can open chat window. Once you open chat window, now this is your GitHub chat window. It's like any chat GPT kind of Gen AI prompt here, and I can ask it anything you want. You can ask general questions about coding. You can say, what is the, let's see, I've never asked this, see if I'm going to, what is the, oops, hold on a second. What is the latest version of .NET? And this is a general question, right? So it will just talk, say, it says, okay, as of my training data, because, so this is one thing that's, Copilot is not up to date. It's still, you can see it's October 2023. That's the last time it was trained on data. It says that based on that, October 2023, the last version is .NET 7. What about C Sharp? So based on, obviously, it says it's a C Sharp 11, even though there's 12 here, right? So this is how you can learn from it. So that's where you can ask. You can also ask, like, can you create a class? Can you create an author class with default properties? Right, simple. That's just simple prompt here, nothing major. What you will see is it writes code for you and say author class. Okay, it has name, email, country. That's the kind of default properties found, right? Okay, come on, stay here with me. All right, what's going on here? Don't load. My laptop is slow somehow. Okay. All right, open chat window again. All right. So that's one way to do is you can ask and get the details here, right, about the chat window. Here, GitHub prompt, right? You can learn more about it. It explains also what this code does. It says name, property. You can also say, so that's one way to do chat window. But I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use this within my, I don't use this. I'm going to go. You can also load same chat window here in your IDs editor, code editor. You can say alt / right, ask Copilot here, or if you don't like using keys, you can also say right click and alt ask Copilot. There's two ways you can come here. So it doesn't matter what you use it, just say ask Copilot. Same thing I can say, can you create an author class with the properties name, city, expertise, whatever else you want. Age, yeah, I don't think age matters here, right? Whatever you want to give it, right? So to show you, this shows you a little bit kind of preview, and then say accept. Once you accept, what it does, it's actually goes and shows you the class. It's created a class called author, has 3 properties, name, city, expertise, and you can add more to it. You can go and edit yourself, and you can ask more. So this is kind of an example, but I'm going to delete all this for a second, because I'm going to show you how to write a full working application without writing a code. Just start asking it, right? So I'm going to say, I'm going to create a class. Let's call it, I'm going to create the whole application. Can you, I'm going to explain it a little bit. I want to build a program that will create a text file. Let's call it mahesh.txt. It will add some content, txt, add 10 authors to the text file with their common properties. Or you can simply even call it just straightforward, say create a text file. Simple, right? Let's call it simplified. It's up to you how you want to say it. Understand all this. It knows the meaning. Add 10 authors to the. That's one way to do it. It's simple English. You can do that, or you can say, I'm gonna create my history. It's a collection. It will store collection of author objects. Add use common properties for the author class. So regardless of what you do, you can always go and modify it, but it kind of understands what you're trying to say here, right? So there's a code edit. I'm just going to accept, because right now, as you can see, that created the class author, name, age, and nationality. That's what it created. You can also change that, and then it creates a program where it says, okay, it first creates a collection of author objects, right? So name, age, it also adds data here. And then it just reads it and write to the console for now. As you can see, it has not created the text file here. So I can say, so it sometimes it won't understand you. It will give you some, it will write, code the way you're not looking for. Now I'm going to say, can you create a new text file and add the authors collection to the text file. So think of this Copilot as your buddy who's you're just telling him what to do side by side, and it will just sometimes will make mistakes. Accept. Okay, so now it's saying using streamwriter. So it's going to actually, maybe I did before, I forgot, I didn't notice it. So yeah, it now says authors.txt file. You can also change the path if you want to here, right? You can go to your own path if you want. Right now it will store in your current path where the exe is. So let's run this. So sometimes you may already have an existing text file, because I didn't have an existing text file. That's why I'm creating. And the idea I'm trying to show here is that you can just ask and talk and just chat about it, and just it will do work for you, right? So it's written, so a text file is there, dude. But I don't know what's written in the text file, so I'm going to say again, can you read and display the text file content on the console, right? So I want to see and read the content from the text file here on the console. So what it does is, okay, it goes and reads, and then obviously I'm not going to review the code right now for a second, but let's just run it. So it created a text file. It has author objects, and it displays that content here. Say, oh, author 1, 30, 40, 50, country. It's saying country 1, country 2, country 3, right? So I can do is go change the data here. Let me show you something funny here. This is very cool. Oops. I need to add that code again. Can you display the text file content on the console? So you don't even to say can, you can just direct tell him whatever you need. So yeah, so it will display here, but let me show you something more here. Let me load Copilot. Okay, can you get the real, no, I don't get the real data about authors from CSharpCorner.com data if you have, and get the actual names and properties. Let's see what it does. Because I know that it has copied, it may not say here, but I know that there's a lot of data. I saw a sample. Actually copied my code from CSharpCorner. It even have the names. That was funny. It couldn't find it right now. Maybe they are fixing it because I complained publicly. So yeah, so all these Gen AI tools, right? So including Copilot, Chat GPT, um, um, they're all copy data from websites like GitHub, USA, USA. Yeah. So also, guys, just feel free to post your questions. So I'm going to take some questions after this. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is add more. Let's say, come on, I keep pushing the wrong key here. Can you add 10 more author objects and use real names in real countries? I am not going to complain about Copilot copying CSharpCorner data. You can be funny with it too. You can do whatever you want. It's like, but see, you see, like it's saving me all the time. And the this is not just the example. Like it's copying more data, so it's created a big. Here, look at that. It added 10 more records for me. Right, took data from somewhere, different countries. It does for you. So that's one way you can go slowly, give it instructions, start building your application. You can just continue to writing the way you want. What it does not do right now is it doesn't create UIs and all that, but it's coming over. I can tell that the way things are moving in future, you should be able to come and say, can you create a web application in ASP.NET Core MVC? Oh, by the way, use link for my queries, or use, Dapper for my queries. And it's just going to write. You can actually write your database. You can still do it, I'm sure. I have not gone that far yet. So this is one example, right? Simple. But more larger, bigger, clear, detailed prompt you write, it can create the whole thing for you, right? So I'm going to delete this for now. So I'm going to say, can you create an application, or let's say, can you create a program that will, okay, nope, oops, no, yes, sure, cancel. uh, create a program, create a text file, and add 25 author objects with common properties. Um, read and display content on the console. Also add search and filter, search by name functionality, and ask user to enter a name as input and display its position on the console. Also get a command if data is sorted or not, and get user in. We can go that more, but the idea here is you can give the whole big detail input prompt here, and more you explain detail, it can probably write more code you for in seconds, right? You see that the whole code is written for you, right? So it's completed. Like it can just write and hundreds and forget hundreds, thousands of lines of code for you in seconds. It's just matter of your imagination, how good you are in prompting. How can you ask? You can also train it like, I want to write this in C#7 .NET, whatever, .NET 5, using whatever. So think about that the potential is unlimited here, right? This is just um, it just becomes, you just get a free program, or not, I wouldn't say free, you're paying few bucks, 10 bucks whatever month, but you have a programmer at your hand where you can ask it to write any kind of code for you from scratch. So that's just like a quick overview here. I'm creating a detailed video on this. So if you go to, also there's a book available, right? My Copilot handbook. This is a, maybe Simon, you can share the screen here. I'm going to stop sharing screen here, get back to the show. So the idea with the quick show is that 10, 15, 20 minutes is that and then we'll take some questions after that. Please post your questions. Idea here is that more you learn these tools, these, they're going to help you in coming time to build software faster. I will show you more other things in next episode, that how you can check the quality of the code, how can you have different versions of the code, how do you make sure your code is secure. Then also it can, if you just go and say write a detailed article on this code, it can just write a complete article for you. So there's so many things you can do. It's in coming episodes, we will cover one feature at a time. But yeah, check out my book called Copilot Handbook. It's available on CSharpCorner for free for now, for anybody who's watching the show. um, so hopefully you learned today. Let's say if any questions here. If you're using a Copilot and you are learning from it and you are using it and finding some issues or some what is helping, I would love to hear from you. Um, say are make a video from the DeepSeek. I'm not sure. You mean DeepSeek? I have not worked with DeepSeek yet. I just Copilot is just already part of Visual Studio. I've been using just for learning purposes. But yeah, I think we will have something on DeepSeek as well, and NVIDIA as well. So we have something in those plans. So guys, with that said, let me quick show you the preview of our new csharp.com. And let me share screen again. I'm going to share my screen again. And the reason I want to show you is that that's very exciting thing we are working on right now. So you can browse the website by just going to csharp.com. This is the preview of new csharp.com, which is going to be the, eventually if you go to CSharpCorner, you can actually will come here. csharp.com is the new URL. As you can say, we are still tweaking this URL. My account, it should not have my account here. This will change coming time. But the idea here is this will become a platform for you to learn everything what is going on in the tech world, especially when it comes to software development. So all the top stories, top news will come here. And then you will see latest videos in live streaming. So this live stream we are doing here, it's going to be streaming right here in coming time. So when somebody comes to the homepage, they can see what's going on live. Then we have something called growth. This area is dedicated to the growth of the logged in user. So if you're logged in, if you don't have a login, I highly recommend you to sign up on this site now, because this will become your personalized growth platform, where everything you see is all about what you want to go become in the future. And what does that mean? For example, if you want to become a software architect, you want to become a .NET architect or Java architect or your cloud architect, you say I want to do that. So a lot of this content will be curated for you in growth, and it will drive you to achieve your goals. So that's the one thing we are thinking here. You can also go and start posting like LinkedIn, right? Any social media, you can ask a question, you can post your, you know, images, photos, and videos. You can have article, video, ebooks, news, so on and so forth. Then this is really, pretty standard format here for the feed. We have two views. You can have the card view or the list view, right? You just go there, you can look at, this is the latest content. However, key is here, you can filter your content. For example, you're only interested in news, right? So I can just go here and say, just show me the news only, right? So now all you see is news here, and you can filter the way you like. And there's settings here as well. So we are working on more. You can say, this is the top stories you want to have on shown homepage, what categories you want to follow, what interests you have, and then people are following. So this is all settings are here. I just want to give you a quick preview. I don't want to take too much time on this today. This is, I highly recommend you to go visit csharp.com and open an account. There's a lot more here. There's rewards coming. There's a point system. There's challenges. There's chat GPT. There's AI. Gen AI is all behind it. There's so many things. So every episode I talk, I'm going to a little bit talk about this new platform before we launch a fully dedicated show just for this new platform. So, guys, with that said, let's see if there's any questions came. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Is there any more questions? Hey, Sarthak, welcome to the show. We're almost done here. So, with that said, guys, I don't think we have any questions from people. So, I hope to see you again next week. This is sorry about the hiccups of this show again. And go Eagles! Tomorrow is the game. Tomorrow, Eagles playing in Super Bowl. Do some research if you don't know what Super Bowl is. This is the biggest sports event in the United States, as well as some other countries. And I'll see you next week, and have a nice weekend. Thank you.